and oh shoot, my retainer is in. That's so ironic. Today I wanted to sit down and talk with you guys about braces and everything about braces, the before braces, during and after, and tips for how to get your braces off fast. I just got my braces off about a month ago, so I wanted to kind of fill you in about the process if you guys are nervous about it. Before you get braces, there's usually like a pre-treatment that you go through. And that can be like spacers in your molars or like a permanent top retainer or permanent bottom retainer to kind of space out your teeth. And this varies depending on your mouth. Some people have very like crooked overlapping teeth, so they'll need more spacers so that once you get braces, the teeth can be separated and then put into place straight. So what I had a permanent top retainer, and this was because some of my molars were still growing in and they didn't want my top teeth to kind of like push forward or like push backwards and overlap, so just kind of keep things straight while my teeth were growing in. And obviously it's different for everyone. Some people their molars are already grown in, but I just have late growing teeth. My friends, a lot of them had spacers, so those are just kind of little blue plastic pieces that they'll kind of force in between your molars, and that just kind of, it hurts really bad, but it like puts space in the back of your teeth so that when they put the braces on, that those gaps can be closed and they'll kind of push your front teeth kind of backwards and then straighten them out. So that is the pre-process of braces, and that can last for like anywhere from a couple weeks to a couple months. Then the day you get braces, for me it took about 1 hour. I just went in and they put this super awkward contraption on your mouth, and I remember I brought my guy friend along because I was like, I'm getting braces, you want to come like see, because he had just gotten his off, so I was like, it'll be so fun if you come and see. No, don't bring, like, I would not recommend bringing someone because it's literally so embarrassing because you're sitting there with like your lips like all open. It was I can't believe I did that. That on, and then they'll kind of dry out your mouth, and then they'll put the glue on and put the brackets on. And people get different brackets depending on your orthodontist. My brackets, I had metal brackets in the back that wrapped around my back molars, and then I had just the regular square metal brackets, and then in the front I had these, I think they said they're like ceramic kind of brackets that were clear, and those were in the front, so you couldn't really tell that I had braces. So power chains. So these are little fun contraptions that hurt like crazy. I had different kinds of power chains, so it depends. If they put a power chain on you that's like only goes through a couple teeth, that separates your teeth. And that's to make room, again, like the spacers, to make room for crooked teeth. Or they can put a power chain that goes all the way across, and this power chain kind of closes the gaps and closes things together. I had that kind of power chain a lot towards the end because in the beginning what they were trying to do was space out the teeth because they were all crooked, and then in the end they'll kind of push them back together and make them all straight. Rubber bands. Okay, so everyone always hears about rubber bands, about how horrible they are. I honestly did not think rubber bands were that bad. Basically, you'll have to wear rubber bands, different configurations. They have triangles, they have ones that go front to back or back to front, depending on if you have like an overbite or underbite. They'll also have ones that go across the front, and that's if you have a crossbite. I personally had an overbite and a crossbite, so I did a lot of different rubber bands going like, it was back to front to kind of bring my bottom jaw forward, because they'll always try to move your bottom jaw because that's what's movable. Your top part of your jaw doesn't move, just FYI. And I would always recommend wearing your rubber bands as often as they tell you. Well, actually, what I did was in the beginning, when they first like assigned my rubber bands, I wore them all the time. I wore them as much as they told me to, and then I came back and they were like, you're doing great, and I was like, oh, awesome. And then they were like, wear them some more, and I was like, I thought I was doing great, you know what I mean? So I was kind of like, whatever. And so I didn't wear them as much the second time because I was like, I'm doing great, like I'm fine. But no, you need to wear your rubber bands as often as they tell you, because the first time, like, I was doing good, but then you need to keep on wearing them so that your jaw stays in place. Like mine, I just moved my jaw forward, but then as soon as I stopped wearing them, it moved right back. So that kind of lengthened my braces process. So if you wear your rubber bands as often as they tell you, it can actually shorten the process. Because say they estimate your braces will be on for 2 years, that's the long estimate. If you wear your rubber bands like as often as they tell you, that time can be shortened. I got my braces off, well, once I like hunkered down and started wearing my rubber bands as often as they told me to, I got my braces off a couple months early. So I would really recommend that. That can be a game changer. So some people don't have bite problems, so they won't have to wear rubber bands at all. So you're probably wondering, well, how do I get my braces off then? Usually, if you do not have a bite problem, you will only have to wear your braces for about a year, maybe even less. My friend wore her braces, I think, for 9 months because she didn't have a bite problem. So, and then at the same time, my other friend wore her braces for over 2 years because she had like an underbite problem. So it really just depends. Tips for what you're eating with your braces. So they gave me an entire list of things not to eat, and I remember the top of the list was gum, and I was like, okay, like, whew, that's gonna be really hard for me. I love chewing gum. I chew it all of the time. So I was like, okay, I want my braces off fast. I'm not gonna chew gum. So for the first 2 months maybe, I didn't chew gum at all, and it was literally the hardest thing. And eventually I did chew gum, and I honestly don't think there's that much of a problem with chewing gum. As far as me, I knew I had an overbite, and whenever I'd like blow bubbles, it would kind of like, you kind of like bring your jaw in a weird position. So I wouldn't like blow bubbles, just chew. I know that sounds funny. So I know that's not the best advice because your orthodontist does say, or might say, don't chew gum, but I did it anyways and I didn't find any problem with it. Just chew sugar-free. Eating. So on the list it had like, you know, popcorn, nuts, chewy foods like candies and stuff, and I remember I was like, oh, this is gonna be so hard, but honestly for me, I don't really eat popcorn that much, so that wasn't a huge problem. But I do remember the few times I did eat it, I was like, ugh, I did not like the feeling of it getting stuck in my brackets, so I honestly would not recommend popcorn. That's obviously a personal choice. For me, I would always eat chips and nuts, and those things didn't really have that big of a problem unless I was eating really fast, and then I would notice it getting caught. So just kind of be mindful of how you chew, because if you chew too fast, you could crunch down on a bracket. So hey guys, so after braces. So for me, when I got my braces off, it was a very quick process. It maybe took 30 minutes, and it feels so weird, but they'll just kind of crack your brackets off and then they'll polish your teeth down. And then they took molds of my teeth, and they took molds of my teeth the very first day I came in and the very last day. And they will take the molds and then send them and go get a retainer made. And there's different kinds of retainers. I have a top retainer that kind of looks like those Invisalign retainers, and then my bottom retainer looks like the classic retainer that just has the metal band across the front. I got my retainer a week after getting my braces off, and let me tell you, it hurt so bad. That's a week of your teeth moving, especially when you get your braces off, your teeth will move so much. And so it hurt the first couple of days wearing my retainer, but then afterwards it doesn't really feel like anything now. So in the beginning, it's very important to wear your retainer. I think the retainer step might be the most important step of the entire braces process. I have several friends who didn't wear their retainer because either they didn't want to or it hurt too bad, and now their teeth are crooked again. So I wouldn't waste your time getting braces if you're not going to wear your retainer. Also, it's important to take good care of your retainer and clean it. I take my retainer case with me everywhere just in case there's food I want to eat. I'll be able to take my retainer out quickly and discreetly and just put it in my purse. And then every night I clean it. Different orthodontists will tell you different things about how to clean it. My friend's orthodontist told her to use toothpaste and a toothbrush to clean it. Mine told me to use dish soap and a toothbrush to clean it, and at first I thought that would be really weird. I'd be able to taste the dish soap, but I really can't. So it's fine. And then in the morning, I just pour some mouthwash over it and kind of freshen it. Guys, so thank you so much for watching. I hope this was helpful with you and your braces experience. If you have any other tips that you want to share, please let me know. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Thank you guys. Bye!